We're reading some more Am I the A-hole stories today, and I hope you guys are excited. Thank you once again for joining me, guys. I really appreciate it. And with that being said, let's get into it. Am I the a-hole for not picking a new colour for my house even though my son finds the one that we have embarrassing? Okay, so I'm gonna guess not the a-hole. I bought my house 15 years ago. It was a fixer-upper and it needed a lot of work. The only thing I kept in the house is it's painted bright pink. The guy I bought it from said that it was his deceased father's house. He had painted it this way to piss off his neighbours. I decided I liked the colour and I kept it the way it was. When I married my wife a year later, she agreed. We now have 3 kids, a 13-year-old boy, a 10-year-old girl, and an 8-year-old girl. We're doing some minor renovations to the house and we've decided to touch up the paint as it has been a while. My son asked that we paint it a normal colour because it's embarrassing to live in a pink house. We declined and we said that we like the colour. Ultimately, it's our house and we'll be living in it longer than him. When we die, he's free to paint it whatever he wants. My mother-in-law feels like we're being unfair and that we should take into account how embarrassing it is for a teen boy to live in a Barbie house. We asked my son if he's being teased and he said no, but he hates it. Our daughters like it. Are we wrong for not painting the house a normal colour? Wow, that's so interesting. That's definitely the first post I've read about a pink house. But no, you're not the a-hole, OP. And no, there's nothing wrong with you saying no, OP. You're not being cruel or anything. And like this comment says, why the flip is your mother-in-law even weighing in on this? What business is it of hers? Answer, none. If she's not going to pony up on the mortgage or buy the paint and grab a brush, she's welcome to keep her big yap shut. Yeah, that's so frustrating when we hear stuff like that. And yeah, of course you don't need to paint your house a normal colour. I think it's bloody awesome that it is bright pink, and it does sound like the story behind it is sweet too. Yeah, the top comment, not the a-hole. I live in a pink house. The colour was chosen by my husband's grandfather when the house was built. It's the only pink house in our area, and anytime somebody asks where we live, we say the pink house on our street, and they all know the house. It's on a main road, so it sticks out in the sea of traditional colours. The story behind the house is, my husband's grandfather was known to be a very frugal man. When it came to picking a house colour, he chose what was on sale, hence the pink. 60 years later, and we've never spoke of changing it because we love the story. 3 generations have been raised in this house. There's something very special about seeing the house unchanged over the years, as the scenery around it has changed and the people who are raised there are now grown up and they've all got families, and now us raising our son here. I love that his great-grandfather has pictures in front of the house and now our son does too. Yeah, that's so cute. Like, of course, your son isn't an a-hole either, OP. But yeah, it's your house and you're definitely not the a-hole for not repainting it. 1,000,000%. Story number 2 is called Am I the a-hole for telling my wife to never volunteer me to help her family again? My wife, 38 female, and I, 39 male, have been married for 8 years and have a 4-year-old son. My wife's younger brother, Joe, and his girlfriend are moving into an apartment together at the beginning of June. But girlfriend's lease is up at the end of April, so she needed to move out of her place. But Joe currently lives in a studio apartment, so he doesn't have a room for all of her stuff. So they were going to move all of girlfriend's stuff into a storage unit for a month until they got their new place together. A little over a month ago, Joe had asked my wife if we would be able to help them move girlfriend's stuff, and she agreed. My mother-in-law was supposed to watch our son so we could both help, but she fell ill and she had to cancel. My wife suggested trying to get a babysitter for that day, but I didn't want to spend hundreds on a babysitter to help somebody move. That's dumb. And bringing a 4-year-old with us would not be helpful to anybody. This turned into an argument between us because she said that I should help them move while she watches our son, since I'm stronger than she is and I know how to drive a truck with a trailer. I told her that she should help them and have them rent a U-Haul for the day. We compromised by telling Joe that I would help them, but they need to get a U-Haul instead of using our truck and trailer. Then the morning of the move, this past Saturday, my wife told me that a friend of hers got sweet tickets through work to a hockey game for that day and invited them. Yeah, sweet tickets to a playoff hockey game. She said she'd be bringing her son since her friend was bringing her kids too. Great, so not only do I get stuck helping somebody move, but my wife and son get to go to an amazing experience together that I miss out on. And yeah, this was my son's first major sporting event, and I was missing it. And wouldn't you know, Joe never got a U-Haul, and his girlfriend wasn't even close to packed up and ready when I got there. I spent 7 to 8 hours and multiple trips back and forth helping them move, all the while my wife is sending pictures to our family group chat of how much fun they're having at the hockey game. When everybody was home that night, my wife was surprised that I wasn't in a good mood. She said that I acted like I barely cared when our son was telling us about the hockey game and how much fun it was. I asked her if she was seriously confused about why I was upset, and she told me to tell her. So I started railing off all the reasons I had to be pissed off. She volunteered me to help. She got to spend the day doing something very special with our son that I missed out on. Her brother and his girlfriend were not prepared, and I'd spent the entire day doing manual labor. I ended my little rant by telling her that she's never going to volunteer me to help her family ever again. She told me that I was overreacting and that I can't hold it against her that her friend friend invited them to a game. She also said I'm not being fair by blaming her for Joe and his girlfriend. Yeah, but like by that logic, why weren't you allowed to go, OP? Yeah, like the top comment says, geez, not the a-hole. She told me I was overreacting and I can't hold it against her that her friend invited them to a game. You're not holding it against her that her friend invited them to a game. That's ridiculous. You're upset that while she volunteered and strong-armed you into doing this favor, she apparently was having a grand old time. How callous do you have to be to not only continuously send pictures of their good time while you're stuck doing something that she made you do, but then to pretend that you're upset because she was invited by a friend? I'm guessing you couldn't care less that she was invited. I'm guessing what actually hurts is her blatant disregard for your time and energy, and on top of that, missing that with your son. She also said I'm not being fair by blaming her for Joe and his girlfriend. Remind me who volunteered you for the job. Yeah, what the hell? You're not in the wrong, OP. I feel sorry for you. And like the comment under that says, I think the wife knows that she was in the wrong, so she tried to change the argument. It was almost successful too, and made OP doubt himself enough to make this post. Yeah, definitely. That's so awful. That's not good, OP. And also, imagine doing that and sending photos of yourself to the family group chat. Oh, just rubbing it in. Well, yeah, rubbing it in, but also showing that they don't care. Oh, that sucks, OP. Your wife is definitely in the wrong. And like this other comment says, not the a-hole. It's deeply inconsiderate of your wife to volunteer you without even asking your permission first, and doubly so of her accusing you of blaming her for Joe and his girlfriend, when she was the one who volunteered that you clean up their mess. Next time they need help in any way that's a meaningful time or energy commitment, if your wife thinks that they need help that bad, she can go. Yeah, please show this to your wife, OP. The volunteering somebody else to do something is so bad too. Like, come on, at least ask. The next one is called, am I the a-hole for telling my parents that I would have preferred the original name that they planned to give me instead of the one they actually gave me? My parents recently told me, 22 female, that they had considered another name for me when mum was pregnant with me. Actually, it was the name that they had decided to give me really until my mum changed her mind. The original name was Dove Emberly, but my mum was worried that it was too weird, and after a while she wanted to change it. My dad never did, but eventually it was decided that I'd be named Emily Catherine. I don't think my dad really likes my name, but maybe he wouldn't have liked anything other than the original. The conversation about my original name came back up between my parents first when my mum basically asked dad if he wasn't glad that they changed their minds, and dad said no. So they actually asked me and they told me the two names. I told them I would have preferred the original, and I was kind of sad that I didn't get Dove as my name, which would be way better than Emily in my opinion. And the middle name Emberly I actually prefer too, lol. Mum mentioned Ocean or Ocean had also been a contender too, and I said that would have been amazing. Mum wasn't really happy. Dad told me if I wanted to use the original name, he'd give me the money to change my name. Mum wasn't happy with him. Oh god. But she really wasn't happy with me. She told me I didn't even hesitate to say that I preferred the original name, and she asked me why I liked it so much, and told me how sad it made her that the name she felt would suit me better for my entire life instead of as a little girl was one that I could discard so easily, especially because I reacted positively to Dad saying that he'd pay for me to change my name. Am I the a-hole? No, you're not the a-hole, OP. They asked you your opinion, and you gave them your opinion. If they didn't want to know, they shouldn't have asked you. Yeah, literally, the top comment, your mum was given the gift of learning an age-old lesson. Don't ask questions if you aren't prepared to hear an answer that you don't like. Not the a-hole. Yeah, I don't feel like you're the a-hole, OP. There's nothing wrong with any of the names, and the name that you do have is completely fine, but that's also not what you're asking. But are you the a-hole for saying that you actually did like the original name? No, I don't think so. They were literally asking you. Okay, story number 4. Am I the a-hole for asking you or like friends who don't understand boundaries to respect them because it feels like they're stalking us? My husband and I have a lake home. We've been there almost 4 years. In that time, we've become good friends with a few other households on our corner of the lake. Some of our group is quite outgoing, always meeting new people in our lake community and being welcoming, us included. Everybody's awesome, but one couple has been pretty problematic. Last year we met Roger and Helene. They have a seasonal cottage on a different part of the lake. They're around on the weekends. They check in with us and our friend group when in town, or stop by unannounced. This is fine. What's hard is they want to get together all of the time and don't seem to accept it when we tell them that we're busy. They get in their boat, drive over to our area and anchor straight in front of our property. It makes everybody uncomfortable. They'll stay for an hour plus if we're working in the yard. They'll repeatedly go by telling us to quit working to join them. Other times when at the campfire, they'll dock their boat at one of our docks and then join us at the fire without an invitation. Yeah, that's just rude, OP. I don't feel like you're the a-hole. They'll also drive or walk over from their place to check up on us, even after being told that we're not available. Okay, that's just ridiculous. When we're in our boat, they'll drive over and say, let's tie up the boats so we can hang out on the water together. Normally it's okay, except for when we're hosting people. We have struggled with how to say no. My husband and I would never say, let's tie up to other boaters. We would swing by, say hello, and then see if we're invited. If not, we move along. That's protocol, but it's lost on Roger and Helene. Recently, out-of-town friends who have been to the lake a few times declined our invitation to visit, citing that they don't like the visits being interrupted by the neighbors, specifically Roger and Helene. Wow, okay, so now it's affecting other people. Our core friend group is very respectful about visitors, so we know who was the issue. Our corner of the lake complains about these two all the time and has struggled with how to handle their constant orbiting. Having a visit invitation turned down because of them made me extra annoyed. So 2 weeks ago we were on our pontoon with friends when Roger and Helene showed up and said, let's tie up. We'd already told them we were busy via text when they checked in, but apparently they just couldn't resist coming out when they saw us. Being extra annoyed, I finally spoke up. Sorry, we're good, we're entertaining. We'll have to get together another time. Later, I got an angry text from Helene. Come on. She said I was rude and embarrassed them. I texted back saying that I was sorry that they felt that way, but they needed to respect when we're busy, and at times my husband and I did feel stalked. I haven't heard from them since. A couple of our core friends say I shouldn't have said anything, that their stalking isn't a big deal. They're nice. This is surprising and upsetting me. I thought they'd understand why I spoke up. Plus, I didn't drag any of them into it. Am I wrong? Am I the a-hole? No, you're not the a-hole, OP, and of course you had to say something. You did the right thing. You're not meant to be a doormat in this situation. Like if somebody is taking advantage of you and they're not listening and they're not respecting your boundaries and they're not respecting when you say no, you especially need to say something. The top comment says, not the a-hole, you didn't embarrass them. They embarrassed themselves, and it sounds like your other neighbors feel free to talk behind their backs. All you did was politely enforce a boundary that was getting stomped on. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, you did the right thing, OP. You had to say something. Like they're not listening and they need to. And the comment under that one says, not the a-hole. The way that you handled this was textbook perfect, except that you could have done it sooner. They checked in via text and you told them you were busy. They showed up anyway and you told them you were busy. Perfect. That's not mean and that's not rude. They showed up when you specifically told them that you weren't available, and then they acted all butthurt because you repeated that we're not available. If anything, it might be helpful to set a more explicit boundary with them, like this. Hey, if we say that we're busy, then that means we aren't free for you to come over. If you do come over, we'll send you away. That's a completely normal and healthy boundary to set. Sometimes clueless people need to hear the rules very openly and clearly. Yeah, it definitely does sound like they're clueless. And yeah, they would have done this a few different times and they would have been like, oh, well, you know, I've done it before, so it must be completely fine. Yeah, you did the right thing by saying something, OP. If anything, yeah, you should have said something sooner. And you definitely did not embarrass them. Okay, story number 5. Am I the a-hole for not getting upset or convincing the bride after I was uninvited to my friend's wedding? This happened over the weekend, but there's still so much tension. One of my good friends, Matthew, 26 male, is getting married next month to Jennifer, 26 female. I, 25 female, have known Matthew since high school. We've both connected when it came to video games, especially Minecraft. Matthew has had his fair share of girlfriends over the years, but when he met Jennifer 3 years ago, he said that he knew that she was the one and they're madly in love with each other, and I'm so happy for them both. Last year, Matthew popped the question to Jennifer and she said yes. Jennifer's demeanor towards me drastically changed after the engagement. She was distant towards me, she wouldn't look at me, and she would hardly speak to me, which was so weird. Since Jennifer was always so sweet and so nice towards me, I would still talk to Matthew and meet with him and our group of friends, sometimes with Jennifer, and she would still act cold and not speak to me much. I kept my distance from Jennifer. 3 months ago, we all received a save the date invitation and their wedding is going to take place at Matthew's cabin, 2 hours away, and they were going to keep it small due to the size of the cabin, so we were only allowed to bring one guest. That was when Jennifer acted extremely harsh and hostile towards me and said, I bet you don't have a +1 since you're so into my man. Oh my god. I was taken aback. I asked her what the hell she was talking about, and she smirked and said that I knew and to not act stupid. I ignored her remark and I told her my boyfriend was coming. She looked surprised and left. I of course told Matthew about what Jennifer said to me, and he was not happy, so he made sure to apologize to me. Then last weekend, I was invited to Matthew's sisters to go dress shopping with her and Jennifer. I declined at first because I wanted to keep my distance from Jennifer, but Matthew's sister assured me that she will deal with Jennifer and that our other friends will be there with us. So we go dress shopping and I found a beautiful dress that I thought would be perfect, and I took a picture of it to send to my boyfriend since he planned on matching, with a bow tie. I tried the dress on and it was a perfect fit, so I guess I got lucky. Jennifer was angry, called me names such as you know what, a boyfriend stealing biatch, and that I was officially uninvited to the wedding. Wait a second, why? She caused such a commotion the employee of the store asked us to leave. I told Jennifer that I didn't want to come to the wedding anyway, but I was going to because my friend was getting married. I told her if she didn't want me at the wedding, fine. I don't give a damn since I'm not going to go to a wedding if the bride is going to be so rude to a guest. Matthew and her friends found out, and I was getting texts left and right begging me to just come to the wedding. I told them I was happy to get uninvited and I'll just spend a day with my boyfriend on the day of the wedding instead. They're all mad at me for not fighting hard enough. Am I the a-hole? Oh my god, you're so not the a-hole, OP. What have you even done? And why should you have to fight harder? This isn't your issue. If Jennifer stopped acting the way that she was acting, maybe it'd be fine. But you're not in the wrong for not trying harder. Why would you want to go? Why are they being so awful? Edit, so my decision is final. I will not be going to the wedding and there's no changing my mind about it. I will be be sending a wedding gift to Matthew the day prior to the wedding instead. I told Matthew and all of my friends that I won't be going and they can't convince me. Matthew also called me and asked me if we can talk somewhere. I agreed, but it's to tell him in person that I won't go, so that way he knows I'm serious about it. Update, I met up with Matthew and I brought my boyfriend along. Of course, he begged me to come to the wedding and he said he would beg Jennifer to let me attend. I told him it's best if I wasn't there. I told Matthew that Jennifer has a problem with me, period. He said that he doesn't understand and he did ask her many times, but Jennifer would continue to say that she was just dressed. Oh yeah, that's what that is. Come on. I got angry and I said that's a BS and he knows it. My boyfriend also intervened and said to Matthew that he needs to wake up and realize that Jennifer is crazy and he can't keep defending her. Matthew said that he loves her too much and he doesn't want to lose her. My boyfriend and I got up and told Matthew to let us know when he has a backbone. In the meantime, it's best that we don't talk. I messaged all of our friends in the group to let them know I'm keeping a distance from Matthew because of Jennifer. He is still my friend, but at an arm's length. I will still be sending him a gift regardless, but I'm keeping my distance from Matthew. It seems like he's in denial and can't comprehend what's going on at all. He usually is in denial. Ever since high school, he would have a sense of denial. Another thing to mention is that Jennifer is nice to all of Matthew's female friends, just not with me. I've also gotten a message from 2 of our friends saying that they've dropped out of attending the wedding because of Jennifer and that they're on my side. Wow. Edit 2, Jennifer already bought her wedding dress a while ago. When I went dress shopping with Matthew's sister, she invited Jennifer as a way to resolve the animosity that she had towards me. So it was Matthew's sister who wanted to buy a dress, and I found a dress that I loved, and Jennifer went crazy. I hope that clears things up since there were so many confused. Oh my god, that's so wild, OP. No, this isn't your fault, and you're definitely not the a-hole. How insecure is Jennifer though? And why does she only have something against you, OP? Yeah, like this comment says, not the a-hole, there's something fishy here. Unless she has gone crazy, somebody must have told her something, or she must have misinterpreted something. Anyway, it's her wedding. If she doesn't want you there, it's not your job to beg. Your friend should be able to deal with his soon-to-be wife on his own. Yeah, and like the top comment says, not the a-hole, this is wild. You're the one being made uncomfortable after Jennifer started displaying this two-faced behavior, since she was nice before. And what, you're somehow to blame? That's a major BS. Edit to add, also not fighting hard enough. Part of adulthood is about learning which battles are worth fighting. Kudos to you for not wasting your time and energy on this one. Yeah, that's such a good point. Why the hell should you have to fight harder? Maybe Jennifer shouldn't be acting like this. Yeah, you're doing the right thing, OP. Good luck with this situation. Okay, story number 6, which will probably be the last one for today. Am I the a-hole for giving away my dad and my sister's tickets to my graduation ceremony and telling them to not bother showing up? I, 18 female, have my high school graduation ceremony this Wednesday. It was sent to my parents in an email that I'll be giving a speech that day as my grades made me valedictorian. Oh wow, congratulations. And I was excited to do so. My school made us reverse and buy tickets to the ceremony weeks in advance, and I picked mine up on the 26th. The problem started at dinner when I told my family I picked up the tickets for my graduation day and that I'd keep them with me until the day of just to make sure they don't get lost. My dad told me that he and my sister had plans for an hour before the ceremony, but that my mum would be there the whole time and that they would try to be there for the after party. I was shocked for a moment before starting to laugh, assuming they weren't serious. When I realized they actually weren't joking, I'll admit I was a bit mad. I'm usually a very shy and non-confrontational person, even around my family, but I started yelling at my dad and sister, asking if they were seriously ditching my graduation ceremony. I told them the after party was useless to attend and that all the pictures of the graduates with their families will be taken at least 2 hours before the ceremony. They said it's fine and we can take our own pictures the day after my graduation, but I got up and left dinner. Over the weekend, I saw a few people on my class group chat complain that they didn't get enough tickets, so I offered up the 2 tickets I had, and I met up with a girl from my class to give them to her, and even though I told her not to, she actually paid me the original price for them. When the topic of graduation was brought up by my dad today during lunch, I told him that I gave the other 2 tickets away and only my mum will be attending, so they shouldn't even bother with the after party. He got mad and asked me why I would do that, to which I replied that I don't see the point in wasting money on tickets if they're not going to use them, and my dad blew up on me, saying that I'm acting like a spoilt brat. Oh, come on. And it's not like I'll die if he and my sister are a bit late to my graduation. I spoke to a few people about it, my friends and my grandma. My friend said good riddance, and if they consider their plans more important, they can have fun. But my grandma said that while she does understand my side, I shouldn't have given away the tickets just to spite my dad, because maybe he would have changed his mind and gone on time. So I'm looking for a non-biased opinion. Am I the a-hole? Edit for information. My plans my dad and sister have is some sleepover with her and her friend group in the north, around a 2-hour drive from where we live. The parents didn't want to leave a bunch of under 16-year-old girls alone that far, so everybody's parents are also going for supervision, apart from my mum, who's going to be at my graduation. Right, okay, there's an update here. Hey everybody, first of all, I want to thank you for the interaction that my original post got, which I ended up showing to my mum. We had a laugh together at some of the comments about my dad, and she wanted me to tell you that she appreciated the kind words about her as well. My graduation was today, so here's an update to my original post a couple of days ago. Although it was just my mum and I, the day did go really well. We took probably 100 photos together, both with the school photographer photographer and my mum's camera. The girl I gave the tickets to, as well as her family, even took photos with my mum and I. I gave my speech in front of the families of maybe 100 plus students. My school has 3 different programs, so a lot of people, and was even surprised with certificates of excellence in psychology and IT when the time came for me to get my diploma. As for my dad and my sister has been spamming her social media with videos of the sleepover with her friends, to which I'm pretty unbothered. My friends and I ended up ditching the after party anyway and went for dinner in the city with her parents instead. Overall, while I'm disappointed that my entire family wasn't there, I'm more than happy with it just being my mum, and I honestly feel like I had more fun with her alone than I would have had if the rest of my family showed up. Wow, okay. Yeah, of course you weren't the a-hole, OP. And shout out to your mum. And also, huge congratulations to you. Absolutely killing it. There's a comment here that says not the a-hole. I have to know though, why is your mum not going nuclear on your dad and sister? I don't understand. Is she scared of him? And OP said no. My mum's been going off on him ever since he announced the other plans. She's the exact opposite of me, not non-confrontational at all. Well, yeah, that's good at least. Cause yeah, your dad and your sister were for sure in the wrong. You can see where their priorities are. And yeah, you weren't the a-hole, OP. And on that note, I feel like we need to read something wholesome. That was such a fun episode, and I hope you guys enjoyed that. It's always an absolute adventure, isn't it? Already excited for the next Am I the A-hole episode. I've decided I'm going to try to do Am I the A-hole episodes more often, which is definitely exciting. My crush, I'm not that cute. Also them. Aww. That's so adorable. What do you mean you're not cute? You're very cute. That's so sweet. I never thought I'd be calling a toaster cute, but that's a cute toaster with the cute little happy face. Oh yeah, this one is so cute. Just in case you're having a bad day, remember this is how they weigh koalas. Yeah, how amazing is that? Like, here you go, hang on to your branch. So bloody cute. I'd love to weigh a koala. So the teacher and the parents are yelling at them, and they play a Mario game and it says, "You are great." Yeah, that's so beautiful. Like, the top half of it isn't beautiful, but the bottom is, and video games are definitely beautiful. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful time. And if you did and you want to see more episodes like this, make sure you like and subscribe. And the comment of the day today goes to Shazy. Whenever I think of a wild Karen, I immediately think of Pokemon. A wild Karen has appeared. Wild Karen uses bark. Yeah, how true is that? Like, they're definitely wild. Karens were Pokemon. That would actually make a lot of sense. Thank you for all the ongoing support, guys. It means so much to me. The videos have been so fun to make, and I'm so excited to make more. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Make sure you look after yourself and make sure you have a beautiful, amazing rest of your day. And you know what I'm about to say because I say it every single day. Bye!